Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. We have a new addition to the crew right here. Meet little Kuromi. Absolutely, little Romy does not play around. My mom found her in like some hair store for like $3, $4, and I was like, bring her to the front. She's mine. Bring her on home. Absolutely. I my goal in life is to find every Kuromi thing that has ever existed and own it and have a shrine. Yeah, I want a few shrines. I need a few, and I don't have the space for that or the coin right now, but I will in the future. Trust, trust. I have a vision and I will follow through. Anyways, you're not here to see me talk about my obsession with cute things. You're here to see me talk about what I watched throughout the month of May, and it was way more than I thought. Like, I wasn't even thinking about making this video until I sat back and was like, damn, since school ended, I had a lot of time on my hands to watch some stuff. More than I would usually watch in a month, so I'm gonna enjoy this summer to the fullest. Absolutely. And if I can make content out of it, then why the hell not? So I'm going to split it up into categories because I love organization. Like, absolutely. I'm a Capricorn. We need to have like some set plans in motion before we do anything. Okay. So I'm going to be talking about the movies first, and it'll be in the order that I watched them in, not in the order that they like came out or like what I'm ranking them the highest or whatever. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the TV shows. Because why not? I don't know. The first thing I watched in the month of May was One of Them Days. And this is when I was still at school and I was supposed to be studying for my finals. Instead of doing that, I was like, maybe not. Okay, no, wait, this is what happened. It was my dinner break because I was like, it's like 8 p.m. I have to eat something because I was going to stay up like all night, girl. I was damn near close to staying up all night. And I was like, I need some fuel right now because I'm getting tired. I'm getting bored. And I was like, let me put on One of Them Days while I eat. And then I'll pause it before it gets really good. And then I'll just watch it later, to incentivize myself. Bad idea. Don't do it. Do not follow my lead because I couldn't stop. I was like, wait, this is ridiculous. And I just kept watching more and more and more. So, quick synopsis. Basically, Drew is Kiki Palmer's character and Alyssa is SZA's character. Mind you, I did not know SZA was that funny. I knew she was kind of funny because people say she's a pathological liar because of her old tweets and stuff and like videos where she's like, I've never owned a TV or stuff like that. The one thing that got me the most is when she was at that Grammys when she won Kiss Me More with Doja Cat and she had the crutches and there was a clip of her right in front of everyone, the perfect angle of her walking normally and then using the crutches. The second I saw that, I said, oh, she's funny. She's a comedian for sure. Like, the whole music thing's already working out, but if you ever want to change paths, do it. Be a comedian. You're fucking hilarious. And guess what? She starred in a comedy movie. So there you go. So basically, Drew and Alyssa have to make their rent money by, oh, I forget what time. What was it, like 6 p.m.? They only had like a few hours, basically. That was the point. They had to like find ways to make money because they had the money. Drew gave the money to Alyssa because she had work, I think, and she was like, just give it to the landlord, who's like a bitch, by the way. He was ready to kick those girls out probably months ago. Why? I don't remember, but like he was not feeling them at all. He was ready for them to go. So Alyssa, instead of giving it straight to him before she did whatever she did during the day, she gave it to her boyfriend Keyshawn. See, that can never be me. I can never give up my responsibility to anybody else. It would drive me crazy. When I have a plan throughout the day, I'm like, I can think of nothing else other than accomplishing that goal myself. Like, I can never just give someone all that money, huh? Especially not him because he's a bum. And you could kind of tell when he's first introduced that he is a lame. He's a bum, y'all. Do not get with a man like that. This I saw all the red flags, so I hope everyone else did too. And if you have a man like that, get rid of him. Especially if he takes the rent money and he invests it in a clothing brand, a clothing line of knockoff Gucci stuff. He's an entrepreneur, he says. I could never, like, I would actually snap. Like, something would come out of me that has never come out of me before if you spent my money, the last bit of money that they had, mind you, because this is not the best apartment complex. Like, it's not in that good of an area. Like, they had nothing else. They just made it. They're just scraping by. And he's like, well, baby, I spent it on us for our future. Crazy. And then another big part of the movie is that like this woman named Bernice is after them, and honestly, I hate to say it, but she's kind of justified. Like, I would be pissed too. So basically, when they found out that he took the money, they realized, I forgot how they found out, but like he had a side chick basically. So Alyssa, girl, like, girl, that was a really bad idea. He's at her place, and so Alyssa breaks through like the window. She creeps on in there into this Bernice girl's house, and Drew is in the front at the door distracting her. And Bernice is slowly catching on that this lady who's claiming she knows me does not know shit about me. Like, Mm-mm. She's lying, and she's lying trying to get something out of me. And then you hear a big thud, and then this whole thing is revealed that he spent the money, he doesn't have it because Alyssa was looking for his wallet, thinking he would still have that on him, knowing, well, maybe she really just couldn't see the signs because, well, they did say in the movie that the D was fire, so she was stigmatized. Not an excuse, but okay. Oh, all right. I mean, sure, sure. Why not? Why not? I thought that was a pretty funny joke, though. I was like, sister, no, no.
They hit the fucking Pentagon!
Bernice tries to like run outside after them, and as she's doing so, as she's in pursuit, someone opens their car door and it whacks the hell out of her in front of the whole neighborhood. So people are clowning on her, and her whole mission of the movie is to like get her lick back. And she beat the hell out of them. She beat the hell out of them. Oh my god! In front of, okay, so another part of the movie is that like Drew was trying to like get a nice job so she wouldn't have to struggle as much. Didn't work out so well at first because the whole fight scene happened right in front of the workplace, and they were like, Drew, like, what's really going on? Like, so yeah, that was a mess. This whole movie was them just doing crazy tasks trying to make money and outrun Bernice, who they didn't really know she was following them though. But Alyssa's dumb ass was taking pictures and still talking to the boyfriend that just stole her money. I mean, some girls just I was gonna say that's pretty unrealistic, but no, I know there's people out there that would do the same thing as her. So, sisters, you gotta stand up. You gotta wake up and leave that type of guy. You gotta wake up and one day just be like, this is too much for me. Or listen to your friends when they tell you not everyone's jealous. They see the signs and you just can't because you're stigmatized. So yeah, that movie was great. Rated it on Letterbox. Go follow my Letterbox absolutely because I think I'm pretty funny. I think I'm pretty funny. I don't know. And I'm just trying to like get recommended more movies. So, if you have good stuff on your account, let me see your account. We can follow each other and we can like wait, I guess you can't really communicate on there, can you? We'll figure out something, girl. We'll figure out something, girl. So that was the first movie I watched. The second movie I watched was Sinners, and I already did like a full recap, commentary, summary rating of that one. So you can go watch that video if you want because that movie was tea. It was so 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 good. But there is something I kind of like left out upon reflection because I made that video right after I saw it. Maybe not my best idea, but I didn't want to forget anything. I think the most powerful aspect of the movie, like now that I really think about it, is the part where, spoilers, Remick, the vampire, the Irish dude, was dipping Sammy's head in the water like crazy. And low key, when I really sat there and was like, wait, that kind of reminds me of something. It was like a baptism, low key. Like, do you see that? I'm sure I'm not the first person that has seen that, but like, it just like clicked. And I was like, oh my God, that's like a crazy form of a baptism, but it kind of is. Because another like a layer of this movie is about like the religion that's spread throughout the area and who it impacts, who made it like popular, you know, how different cultures like see the scripture, and how the part where they were both reciting the same scripture was crazy. That was a jaw drop moment in the theater. I was like, oh, that's powerful right there. Like, yeah. I see what you're doing, Ryan. I see what you're doing and I like it. I'm feeling it. They were recounting the same shit they learned from their oppressors. Like, whoa, world stop moment. That was nuts. That was absolutely nuts. Applause. Round of applause. Absolutely. So, yeah, that movie's got a hold on me. Something does have a hold on me, and it is Sinners because I'm still obsessed. Like, I don't think I've ever bought a DVD, honestly, like my own DVD. But if they make that on DVD, like, I'm getting it. Because they'd be deleting shit from streaming services and then it's just gone forever. So we're not having that. I'm owning that movie. TikTok convinced me and I can't say I'm mad this time. Because sometimes TikTok be wasting my time. These influencers be lying, but no, people were right this time. They were absolutely right. That movie, powerful, heavy, inspiring, really makes you reflect on like, damn, what's really going on? Like, what's really tea in this country? So yeah, that's all I'm gonna really say about Sinners, other than I liked it because I already made that whole ass video. So go watch that if you want to hear me talk some more. Why not? Next up was How to Date Billy Walsh on Prime Video, and I mean honestly, it's a very unserious, very silly, goofy movie, but it was cute. Like all in all, like it was pretty cute. It was just a sweet teen little rom com film, one of them. And like that's my bag. That's like my main gig. So I'm not gonna talk shit too much, but like, it's kind of funny how Billy Walsh's name is in the title and he's not really in it for more than like 10 minutes, that character. You know how that works? Like, that's just kind of crazy. Billy Walsh is like a foreign student, like, he's from America. This takes place in like England, you know? So they're like, oh my God, a cool American on a motorcycle wearing a leather jacket. Like, the girls were fiending for him, absolutely salivating. So Amelia and Archie are two friends, best friends, mind you, since their childhood, and Archie has always had a bit of a crush on his girl Amelia. She's kind of oblivious to it, has no idea, shockingly enough. I feel like after a while you would be able to tell. You wouldn't be able to tell when someone's flirting with you when they're your best friend. Like, okay. I mean, that's why I don't really like childhood friends to lovers, but I've never been in that situation, so I really don't know what that would be like. Like, so maybe I wouldn't know either. Maybe I would just think my friends are just being funny. I don't know. He's into her and she's into Billy Walsh. So he ends up, it's kind of like, I wrote this on my letterbox, mind you. I said it's kind of like Sierra Burgess is a loser, but like it's a guy this time and it's set in England 7 years later. There's this whole thing with the parents, the weird ass parents in there, and they've been taking advice from this dude called the Love Doctor. So Archie impersonates the Love Doctor and he pretends to be all old and shit with like a face tune, maybe like AI type of app or something. And he's talking to Amelia, giving her the worst advice on how to date Billy Walsh. See, you see how it all connects? I mean, most of the jokes were joking. All the girls were girling. The girls were fabulous. The girls are gorgeous. All the girls are girling, girling. All the girls are girling, girling. Sorry. I love the Seraphim. I love Yunjin. What do you want me to do about it? Like, I'm sorry. She's on my mind 24/7. Yeah, the movie was a good time. Not very realistic, but not every movie needs to be. It was very, 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 very unserious. So if you're expecting this to be like a serious, like, teen film about how to date someone for real, it's not going to give that at all. So yeah, Billy Walsh was kind of like an afterthought, shockingly enough. But Archie, the actor that plays him, is cute. So I'm not mad that he was all over my screen eating up the screen time. Like, I'm not gonna complain. Like, if you're delivering me something and I like it, I will not complain, even though it's kind of like, where's Billy at? Like, where's Billy? The only thing I really have to like comment about that's not as positive is towards the end of the movie, I feel like there was like a scene cut or something because all of a sudden Amelia looks at pictures of her mom who is deceased, mind you. And that's when she realizes she had a crush on Archie this whole time. And she, because at one point, spoiler, she does end up getting with Billy Walsh because he felt bad for her after like she was getting bullied and picked on and stuff by like the popular pretty girls. You know how they do. Yeah, and they were kept saying like hashtag this all the time. I'm like, when was this script written? It's giving 2017. Like, how long was this script in development? How they didn't want to edit that part out or update it? Okay, okay, but it's all right. So yeah, they were like picking on her and stuff, dumped food on her. He ended up talking to her, felt bad, and was like, "You seem pretty cool. You want to hang out?" They go on a date. She gets the worst advice to be like hard to get, basically doesn't go well at all. She finds out that his mother passed away too, or something like that. She's like, oh shit. Then I think they reconcile or something. They give it one more shot, but then she looks at pictures of her mother and she's like, I'm supposed to be with Archie. He's my one true love. We should be childhood friends to lovers. And I just didn't get that at all. Like, she was literally about to go to prom with Billy, who only had one outfit the entire time. He was staying in that leather jacket. Like, sir, don't piss me off. He was not following the uniform at all. But yeah, she like jumped out her window to avoid talking to him on the day of prom when he was like trying to hang out with her. Went to Archie's house, which is nice as fuck. He has an observatory at his house. He has a driver that takes them to school. And so she went up in there and she was like, oh my gosh, I love you. And then she found out about the whole love doctor thing and she felt betrayed. But then they end up getting back together anyway after a beautiful speech, mind you. He gave a beautiful speech about her being like his star, binary star, and how like the one star shines brighter, but like you need the other star or something like that. It was beautiful. Beautiful. Not gonna hold you. I would be flattered. Like, I would be blushing. I would want to take you home right then and there. So yeah, this movie was pretty educational and adorable. Not my favorite romance trope, but you know, not the worst teen movie I've ever seen either. It was just kind of like mid. It was just average. The last movie I watched was Another Simple Favor on Prime Video. I Okay, I did watch the first one and not too long ago. Made a review on that. I was very into it. It was nuts, but I should have rewatched it. I should have rewatched a recap video or something because when it first came on, I was like, "Wait, what the hell is happening?" and then it like all kind of came back as the movie kept going. And I feel like they did kind of like shoehorn some lines in there where they were like making sure you remember if you've never seen it, or like if you only watched the second one, filling you in on what happened in the first. I was like, okay, like sequels, they do that, but they don't really need to. It has been like a few years since the first one came out, but like if you want to know what happened in the first movie, watch the first movie. So it was helpful, but I feel like, like it wasn't always needed. Like maybe one or two lines about what happened in the other movie, okay, because it does affect the plot of this one. But just nitpicking. But other than that, wild time. I didn't think they could top the first one with how insane that was. Oh, honey. Oh, honey, did they? First and foremost, Blake Lively and Anna Kendrick were perfect for these roles. I usually don't say that because I'm like, well, somebody else could have killed it. I really could not see anyone else doing that the way they did it. They just fit the characters they played so well. Like, Anna plays normal but slightly unhinged very well, trying to be cool, trying to act like there's nothing wrong with her. Meanwhile, like, we clock you, girl. You're not all the way right in the head either. And then Blake Lively as Emily, oh my god, she's insane. She does it so well. Oh my god, like I want to learn how to be nuts. So like that seems like such a fun character to play because you can just do literally whatever, as crazy as you want, and like you're probably not going to be told to do anything different. You might just be told to like amp it up a little bit. How fun is that? How fun is that? I'm jealous. I'm jealous. I wanted to be in the room where it happened. Like I did. I sure did. Honestly, I think I like this one way more just because, my God, like I couldn't predict a single thing that was going to happen. In the first one, I could kind of see some things coming. This one, no idea. No idea. There were so many insane twists I couldn't even believe what I was watching. Like, spoiler alert, there are triplets. Now, okay, I kind of like when I really thought about the first movie and they did the little recap in the film, I did remember that they were no, okay, here's the thing. So they said they were supposed to be triplets, but one of them passed away during the birthing process, so they were twins, you know what I mean? Apparently, one of the aunts, new character, stole that child from her own sister and was like, I can raise you to be someone different. I can raise you to be better in order to have a child to help her with her con artist shit. Apparently that's a thing. People when they con others use like children, and honestly, yeah, because sometimes with these traffic cases, like the kids lure people in, and that's very unfortunate. So, you know what? Maybe this does add up. Even in a movie, this does kind of make sense when I really think about it. Very unfortunate because you just want to help the kids. Next thing you know, you're being conned or like stolen and kidnapped and shit. And not only that, but these two were crazy. They were like pew pewing people for their coin, girl. Once they got what they needed, they were like, bye. Nuts. Nuts. I hope I don't ever encounter a con artist in my life. Like, terrifying. Terrifying to see how far they'll go for a check. Basically, in this movie, Emily ends up divorcing from her husband, probably because, she was in jail because she killed her own sister. Yeah, so she was supposed to be the only one still left alive, but the other one, Charity, was still out there with the aunt, which they had no idea about until the aunt came to Italy because Emily, after prison, is getting married to the love of her life in Italy. And apparently he has ties to the mob. He's in a mob family. Like, okay, but they don't like when you call it that. So, you got to watch your mouth. They got on Anna Kendrick's character about that. What's her name? Becca. Yeah. No, wait, that's Pitch Perfect. Wait, what's her name? Hold on, I have to look it up. It was Stephanie. Her name was Stephanie, that's right. Not Becca. Ah, what a blast from the past. Pitch Perfect is one of my favorite movies of all time. Like, wow. A moment in time. Like, wow. Whoa. I remember doing the cup song at the after school program in third grade before my parents would pick me up. Absolutely. Stephanie got invited to the wedding and she was like shocked. And all of her friends were like, girl, she's going to end you this time, like for real. You're the reason why she's in jail. You and your little mommy vlog or live streams in the book that you wrote. Yeah, she's coming after you for real this time. Turns out, no, she wasn't. She needed her there to protect her because she thought somebody else was going to take her out. Maybe the mob family or something. Turns out it was her own damn aunt and dead sister. So, like, they're actually not enemies anymore. They're like frenemies. Yay! They're supposed to be at a wedding. A bunch of shit goes down. The bride was not really the bride because she had drugged Emily, the crazy sister, well, crazier sister, drugged Emily and had her up in the hotel room. And then later on that night, during like the after party or whatever they call it after the wedding, fireworks went off and ended her husband. And everyone was like, they blamed Stephanie for it. That's the only part that was crazy to me. They blamed Stephanie for that. What would she gain from this? She would gain literally nothing. Maybe because Emily was like, it was her, she did it, she would do this to me because she already hates me, she's trying to steal my life, da da da. But like, what evidence? She found the fireworks going off. She didn't set that off. Like, so that part was a little like, okay, really? But other than that, like, whoa. Like, this is very, you have to suspend a lot of disbelief for this to work. So I'm not too mad at it. But whoa, like, and then the whole FBI thing, the Irene girl who did not know how to do her job properly got ended in broad daylight. Like, oh my God. The whole mob dude, his name is Dante. He was fruity the whole time for his rival family's son. They was hooking up in like clubs and stuff, and Emily was just like the watchdog. So she was just like, I'm gonna be the beard. This is a lavender marriage trust. So she is a good person deep down, even though she ended her sister for like insurance money or something. She does have a warm heart in there, and she was always very nice to her son. So that's good. She's good with kids, so she's a good role model in some aspects. No, I'm just kidding. So if you're into that, you probably will like this movie. Just make sure you watch the first one first, or you'll be utterly confused. There was a lot of chasing and hunting down in this movie, and I love a good thrill like that. Like, that's the only thriller I like, even though it's probably not thriller. I don't know if it's classified as a thriller. But that's the only ones I like where it's like, oh my God, what's gonna happen next? Who's gonna be the next one out? Like, oof, it's just suspenseful. Okay, now we move on to the shows. So one of the first shows I watched, if not the first show that I watched, that took me like the whole month to finish because it's 16 episodes because it's a K drama, is Her Private Life. This show started off on such a high. I remember people recommending me this for years because they're like, it's hilarious. And basically, if you've never seen it before, never heard of it before, the main character, Duck Me, I think that's how you say it. The main character, played by the gorgeous, lovely Park Min Young. Oh my God. I think she's the prettiest actress, Korean actress to me. Like, her eyes are like so cute. They look like fucking boba. Like, they're just perfect little round brown balls. Like, she's beautiful. Beautiful, no matter what color, especially red though. When she was wearing them red fits, she was popping. She's like an art curator and wanting to be the director at like this museum that she works at, and her private life is that she's like a huge fangirl, and I think she's like 33. I think that's how old she was. I don't know how old the Cha Xian guy was, the idol that she was obsessed with, but she would go to the airport. She would be like, if you're a K-pop fan, then you've seen this before. But she would pull up to the airports with her huge ass professional camera and would try to snap the best pictures of him, follow him around. She made a whole fan site for him. He even knows how big it is. She's got like the number one fan site. She's been loyal since day one. So yeah, like that's her whole thing, and she has to hide it from everyone. She has a bunch of posters and paintings and things all over the wall of this one specific man, not the group, just this one guy. It's a rom-com. It's one of those K-dramas. It's a romance K-drama. So like this dude from New York, his name is Ryan Gold. He comes in and he ends up being the director after the other director. I think she acted like she was sick or something, so he would be taken off of her because her husband was arrested for like embezzlement or something. So he was like the step-in director. So that's how they ended up meeting. She was supposed to be the director, but Duckme got played by that crazy lady who was hilarious. I can't even lie. She was always speaking random English. She was always like, "Oh my God." No, like that was the perfect imitation, actually. That's exactly how she sounded. Anyway, this show was a wild ride. They were trying to like set up an expedition for most of it. That was like the main underlying story. Then it turned into like a whole fake dating thing between Duckme and Ryan because why did they pretend to date? Honestly, I don't remember. I like just finished it and I don't remember why they even pretended to date. Classic K drama trope. They love that one. It was fun. You could see the tension building. It's cute. I see why people like the fake dating thing. I see why everyone loves To All the Boys I Loved Before. I get it. I see you. Fake dating's not my favorite, but not the worst. Not the worst. Another source of conflict comes because the daughter of the director is another Cha Xian fan, and she is literally stalking dug me because this idol, she loves him so much because he's into art too, and he has like paintings that she wanted to be in like a certain exhibit that they were about to hold. So she ends up doing like a meeting with him. So she's like in his apartment with the director, of course, on business stuff. She's trying to keep it cool. And then this crazy stalker, saucing fangirl was capturing pictures of her leaving his house in his jacket. Girl was getting harassed. She got eggs thrown at her outside of her job. Like these stands be doing a lot. So that's why she had to do the fake dating thing. See, now I remember. It was because people were thinking she was dating him and were trying to figure out where she lives, who she knows, who her family is. And she was like, for my safety, I gotta act like I have a boyfriend. And then that's when Ryan stepped in. Okay, that's how it started. And then it blossomed into the real thing. But here's the thing. Literally, the last few episodes, last three, kind of ruined the show for me. Not ruined because it was very comical. It was one of the funniest K dramas I've ever seen. My mom and I were dying watching this, and she was like, "When are you gonna come upstairs so we can watch the next one?" So she was into it. We were both into it. But literally before it happened, I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm shocked they're not going down the route of the whole like car accident thing. And she was like, what car accident thing? And I was like, oh my god, it's a huge K drama trope. They either get hit by a truck, there's a bunch of memes by that. They get hit by a car and they get knocked out. And then they are in the hospital for a while in a coma. And then they wake up with amnesia. What the fuck do you know? Episode like 14 and onwards, that's literally what happened. Ryan Gold was like an orphan and he was trying to like figure out stuff about his past or whatever, or it just kept coming back to haunt him. And because he knew his mom was a painter, but he thought she had left him. Apparently, it turns out she was like, I gotta do business, go play at the park. He's playing at the park, she never comes back, and it's because she got hit by a car. So there's that trope. And then apparently Duck Me knew Ryan Gold as a kid, which is another thing K dramas do, which I also mentioned to my mom. I was like, they always do the thing where it's like they met sometime during their childhood, and then all of a sudden, when they're adults, they reconnect, and then they're like, wait, I knew you before. Like, oh my god, this is destiny. All these K dramas do it, bro. I'm sick and tired of it. Like, you don't need to meet as a child in order to be like soulmates. Like, oh my god. And that's what happened. Apparently, Duckme's mom took him in because they were playing with him at the park. And then apparently Duckme's mom was like, we can't afford to take care of all these kids. So, you know, you gotta go. So she dropped him off at the orphanage after like a month of taking care of him. Duckme apparently didn't recognize him as an adult, which is fair because she was like 7. So that fair, but I just don't like that storyline. And then apparently, on their way home from like kindergarten or something, Duckme had a little brother that she doesn't remember because they got into a car accident. And in that car accident, he passed away. So she had the amnesia trope. She forgot she had a whole brother. All these years later, it all just came back to her when she figured out who Ryan really was to her. Made the story much more dramatic. This was supposed to be a lighthearted, fun show. They didn't need to do that. It was so unnecessary. Like, still, probably, well, I don't know if it can be my favorite K drama if I don't like the ending that much. Like, the ending is nice. They end up together, they're in love. They went to New York for a while, came back. He was able to paint again. She brought that out of him. They're in love. They actually had some intense like makeout sessions. Like a lot of these K dramas, it takes them a while to hold hands, but they're like, "Bitch, we're grown." They was making out. I said, "Okay, we get it." Like, damn. So yeah, that was gaggy because when I watched Cinderella and the Four Knights, like we barely got any of that. My mom, that was the first one she had seen that I introduced her to, and she was like, "Oh, like this one's different. This new one we're watching, they are getting into it in public more than once." I was like, yeah, this is new for me too. Like, this is rare. So at least they switched that up. But Jesus, they just had to bring those three tropes in this, didn't they? They just had to do it. There's other ways the story could have progressed without that, but I digress. I still enjoyed it. Had a great time. Great show. Great acting. Great comedy. Great casting. All that. So I still give you your tens. I just wish the ending was better and we didn't throw all that shit in there. Why? Like seeing that play out in real time after I had just told her that, like I looked at my mom, she looked at me, we were like, you just said that. And I'm like, I know these things. Another show I started watching but haven't even caught up on all the episodes yet is RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars Season 10. Absolutely. I started getting into RuPaul's Drag Race once I saw Mirage on there. I was like, oh, she's a baddie. This is when I was finally starting to get into like voguing and everything, and just like really getting into more like queer content and culture. So yeah, I've been getting more into like that lately. And so I watched all of season 16, and then I watched season 15 because I remember seeing these twins go viral, Sugar and Spice. Then I fell in love with Mistress Isabel Brooks, and my brain has been consumed with all these Drag Race references, untucked moments since then, since last year. And I just watched season 17. And now I'm like, since I love Lydia B. Collins, I have to watch All Star season 10 for her and Mistress. I don't really know too many other people on there because I didn't watch all the old seasons yet. But I need to watch season 5 expeditiously. Like, people say that's the best one. I've seen so many Coco versus Alyssa memes. It's just too good. I watched like the orange bracket part of the new season. So, like, it's a tournament of all stars. So, like, there's an orange team, pink team, and a purple team. In the first 3 weeks were just like the orange team. There's 6 girls in each, but they're not competing as a team like I thought they were going to. They're just paired up against each other, and whoever gets the most points, top three, whoever gets the most points in the top three moves on to like where everyone comes together from all the teams. So I think in the end, it's going to be like, if I can do math, 9 people competing for the crown towards the end of it. So I watched the orange bracket, fell in love with Bosco. Gorgeous, gorgeous gal. Gorgeous gal. I think my favorite episode of the three that I watched was the basketball makeover one, which was the last one. Oh my gosh, I loved it. They did the college basketball girls, and this is kind of fitting for me because I just kind of got into college girls basketball because of like Paige and KK and all of them at UConn. Yeah, I'm so glad they won. I really do like them, yeah. So that was a fun episode to watch. It was like two worlds are colliding. And those girls were gorgeous too. Like, oh my god, they could model as well as doing basketball. Jealous. Like, I don't have the height, I don't got the looks, I don't got the athletic skills. I'm pissed. Like, that should be me. I actually did always want to play basketball growing up, but like when I was in 4th grade, none of my friends wanted to. So I could have been like an icon, like a short basketball player, but that's just not the way my life turned out. I think that was a sign that I was just meant to like sit my ass at home and write. I was supposed to be a writer baby. That's it. That's it for me. Second to last show I watched was the Total Drama Island season 2 reboot. Now, as I literally was like finishing it, the trailer dropped on their YouTube channel. Apparently, it wasn't out in the US yet. It was only out in Canada, which is why I had no idea because I watched the first one when it was out in Canada. Don't ask me how I did it. Listen, if people post links on the internet and I don't get a virus and it does allow me to watch the episode, then I'm going to watch the episode, wouldn't you? Hey, I wasn't the one that posted it, so, I can't be sued for that. Can't be sued for it. But I watched it all in one sitting, and then I was like, wait, because the first one was only 13 episodes of the reboot, and then apparently I was like, there's 13 more that I've been missing out on since last year. What's going on? Like, I was twitching. I was like, I have to find it and watch it. As of right now, someone posted all of them on YouTube, and there's like a playlist of all the episodes. If you're in America and haven't seen it yet, and you don't have Cartoon Network or anything, so before they find out and delete it, I would go watch that if you're interested in Total Drama Island, absolutely. Uh, one and only warning before they get on my ass. Even though I didn't post those videos, did not post those videos. I really liked the first season. I probably should have rewatched it, even though I do remember a lot of the references they made to it. Not everything. I was like, wait, what happened? But I do remember who like the villains were, who my icons were, who I wanted to win. So if you've never seen Total Drama Island, go back and watch the OG season before anything. I'm trying to get my mom on it because we used to love like The Amazing Race and like what's it called, Survivor and stuff like that. So I feel like she'd be into it, but she's not into cartoons. So I'm trying to convince her like, if you were able to convince your mother to watch the show, how did you do it? Because I keep reminding her, I'm like, hey, if you have nothing to watch, watch Total Drama Island. She's like, maybe. Damn. Because I was like, I'm trying to tell her the stuff they do is so insane. You could not do that on live action. It just would not hit the same. Like, it has to be animated. Like, I was trying to say it without spoiling it, but she's just like not getting how intense and wild and nuts that show is. If you want to watch a cartoon where it's like 14s, it was on Cartoon Network. I think it was PG. I don't even think it was Young 7. I think it was like it's for an older demographic, you know what I mean? Like parental guidance, because some of the jokes they make crazy. They used to have crazy stereotypes back in the day. Mind you, this came out in 2007, 3 years after I was born. Gag. But I grew up watching it, because it was still on Cartoon Network. And it's just nuts. Like, I, if you want to watch people get eliminated, form alliances, form enemies, find love or whatever, and a crazy host and a crazy chef that makes all the nasty food for them, if you like Fear Factor, Survivor, The Amazing Race, go watch that show. My favorite season personally is Total Drama Island World Tour, which is season 3, because Alejandro is my favorite character because he's sick in the head, but like he's smart and he's good looking. He's the best looking character they've ever made. So, yeah, in order to know who Alejandro is, watch the first 2 seasons. Although Total Drama Action, boom, we could skip her. We didn't need all that. They ruined Lashana too. Like, we didn't. No, don't give me that shit. I don't want that. I hated Total Drama Action. Like, rewatching it was a bitch, but you know. So, yeah, I watched season 2 of the reboot, which is like season 7. Well, 7 part 2. And the winner kind of pissed me off because I think this is the first time they didn't have an alternate ending, because usually in some regions like the US has a different winner than like Canada and the UK. So that's pretty cool. That's another reason to watch because you truly never know who's going to win. It just depends on which version you watch. I think there is like a canon winner, but the alternative ending is pretty cool too though. Like I like that. This season though they did not have an alternative ending. And it was a very close race. You know, one of my faves, a spoiler, even though I really I really want you to see it, but spoiler, Bowie did not make it as far as I wanted. Loved him. I think he, spoiler for season 1, should have won because he should have won. He worked his way up in there. Priya was the obvious option. Like I knew she was going to be in the finals, but like come on. And how the hell can she get into the finals again? Has that ever happened? Has that ever happened in the history of TDI? You get into the finals twice? I don't know if I like that. She's a good player, but like the whole Caleb and Priya storyline, that was the only main storyline we got because it was 13 episodes. Before it used to be like 22, 26 or something like that. You had way more stories, you had way more chill time for like the contestants to talk together. This one was basically just like intro, quick little intro between Caleb and Priya 9 times out of 10. And then, well, out of 13, I guess I should say. And then challenge, and then quick elimination ceremony with the marshmallows. And then finale. Like, what? Where was the other storylines? The only other one we really got was MK and Julia cheating, which I usually don't ship characters. I usually don't unless I really see something. And I was seeing something. I thought they were gonna like confess their love for each other, not confess that they wanted to do a podcast with each other. A podcast. A podcast. Y'all need to be like making out or something. They do have gay characters, so it's not like crazy because Raj and Bowie are so cute, and I wanted more Raj and Bowie moments. So I was robbed of that because they sent Bowie home because he's a good competitor. They did my girl Nichelle good though. I'm glad Nichelle was back and she actually knew how to do the stunts now and she saved her team a lot, but she thought she got that movie contract. Julia is nasty, girl. I still think Heather is worse. And I knew the whole Julia being like an influencer thing was gonna be fake because she was like one of those positive hippie girlies. I knew that shit was fake. I could see that coming. Again, it is PG for kids, so I guess it's not that great of an observation, you know? Like, okay, maybe I should be reading between the lines as a 21-year-old. Well, I was like 19 or 21. I watched this, but still, I should have better assumptions and predictions than like a 10-year-old watching this. So, okay. I pat myself on the back, but only like halfway, like almost, because duh, like duh. The winner that we did get was kind of, he's a cool dude, so I'm not even gonna do too much, but okay. Like, okay. Okay. As long as it wasn't Priya again, then I was satisfied. Because if we were gonna have a double winner, I would have been like, bitch, are you for real? Are you for real? So yeah, go watch Total Drama Island. That show is freaking fantastic. Please let me put you on. If anything, please watch that show. A lot of the seasons are on Netflix, but they also post a lot of the episodes on YouTube now because it's so old. Okay, the last thing I watched that I just finished like 2 days ago because it did come out like later half of the month, I think. And I was waiting on one of my sisters to watch it with me and my mom, but she just like took forever. And then she ended up not liking after 2 episodes, which damn, didn't even give it a shot. Is Forever on Netflix. Finally, another black love story. Thank God they're hard to come by. And both of the people are like my skin tone or darker. Absolutely. I was sad. I was gonna be watching it whether I had to watch it with my mom, by myself, with the whole family. I was watching it. I was sad. I love a lot of the black moments. You know what I mean? Like the mom, some of the comments that she had, Justin's mom, were so funny. Out of pocket, uncalled for, but like realistic. Justin's dad, realistic as hell. Keisha's mom, realistic as hell. You don't, if you haven't seen it, you don't know who I'm talking about. So let me rewind a little bit. So the story is between Keisha and Justin. Justin is like a really rich dude, goes to like this PWI academy, really good at basketball, wants to get a scholarship to like Northwestern. And Keisha is a track star, and she used to go to a really nice private school, full ride scholarship, but she did something with someone she trusted, her boyfriend at the time, during sophomore year, pretty sure, meaning she filmed something with him because her boyfriend Christian was like, all of my guy friends, meanwhile it's like a PWI as well, so they were like white dudes, they were like, white girls suck better than black girls do. And he was like, let me prove you wrong. And he got her consent, at least, to record a video of her giving, top to him. And he sent it to one of his friends, and of course he didn't think that it would be passed around, and so she had to literally change schools. Her mom was told that it was because of like racism, which was happening, but it was mainly because of that video, but she didn't want to tell her mom that. So her mom like went to the school and popped off on everyone, claiming that they were all like racist and stuff, which again, some of them were. But yeah, when her mom found out the real reason, she was not very happy about that. She was not very happy about that at all. Meanwhile, this Christian dude is still like following her around, trying to get her to come back together with him because he's so sorry and he didn't mean it. He didn't think it would ruin her life. He didn't think anyone would pass it around. I thought I could trust this person. Please be serious. If there's young girls watching this, don't ever let someone record you doing nothing. Because if you break up, if you get into an argument, people do dumb shit irrationally. Or some people do the revenge stuff. So don't ever do it, especially because she was a minor at the time, and him spreading that around and everybody else that spread them around. The mom was in the right when she said she wanted to sue and ruin his life because that is illegal. Like, she is underage, that's a minor. Like like because he ended up getting into like Kentucky for, what was it, basketball? Oh yeah, he played basketball too. And she was like, no, like he needs to face repercussions for this, and I agree. But basically, how Justin and Keisha come together is because on New Year's they go to a party at Keisha's friend's Chloe's house, and Chloe goes to the old school that she went to, and Justin is friends with a dude that just knows everybody. I forget his name. But yeah, he kept making all these like weird jokes and stuff about Keisha. Yeah, okay, weirdo. I would drop him so fast. But anyway, they met on New Year's, ended up just instantly like clicking. They were two of the only black people there. Maybe that's why. They were both attracted to each other though, and I think they kissed or something, or made out in the closet. My short-term memory is terrible, you guys. I remember the most random stuff from my childhood, but not something I watched less than a week ago. Jeez. They end up going on a date, and she tries to give him in the movie theater in public. I was like, now why are we, now whose idea was, who wrote that? Because what do you mean? First date with this man. She wants to, in public. I was gagged. I looked at my mom. My mom looked at me. We were both in shock. I was like, oh, this is really happening. But luckily, it didn't happen because he's like, what are you doing? And she was like, well, it just felt right in the moment. I just wanted to say thank you. And he's like, is it because I bought you a bag because they went shopping before and she got a nice ass duffel bag? He bought her a nice duffel bag. He's rich, so he was like, literally no worries. And she was like, oh, you think I only did it because you bought me something? So it became a whole argument. You know how things with teens go. They cut each other off, and then they end up finding each other again because he's like obsessed with her. He can't get her off his mind. He is like, I need to see her again. He ends up pulling up to her school in like a driving instructor truck, making a scene, and he's like, take me back please, because she like blocked him over that. And she was like, okay, I'll give you another chance. And then she ends up going to prom with Christian, the dude that leaked this video, because he keeps sending flowers and stuff to her house, and her mom has no idea, thinks they're still together because she never told her mom that they even broke up. And he ends up asking her to prom, and because her relationship at this point with Justin was a secret, she was like, well, it's too little too late now. My mom already knows that he asked me to prom, so I'm gonna go to prom with him at his school. I would be pissed just like Justin was pissed as well because what the fuck do you mean this dude tried to ruin your life, got you kicked out or bullied out essentially, and you're gonna go to prom with him? No, no. So then he got mad at her and then they kind of stopped talking. And then she was like, I'm obsessed with him, can't get him off my mind. So she knows his vacation spot because they had talked about it. So she pulls up there with her friend Chloe because her friend Chloe's rich. And they, sometimes go up there, but in like different areas. Apparently there's like a black section and like a whiter section. Not like it's not like policy in this place, but like it's just like a thing. You know what I mean? Like there's just some spots where you're gonna find more black people than white people, and vice versa. So it was like that. And so she ends up finding the brother and the mom called her a heifer because she broke her son's heart. Oh, I mean, fair enough. But I just thought that was so funny because I can totally see that happening in real life. Like if you hurt my son, you hurt my brother, you hurt this person I love, like fuck you basically. They end up seeing each other again at this place. They get back together. The mom had no right doing this, but she was like, if you don't tell Keisha to tell her mom what happened, then I'm gonna call her mom and tell her what happened. Uh-uh. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. So Keisha was like, I need some space because what? She ends up telling her mom. Her mom was pissed. And then her mom just like left for work. And Keisha was like, I don't want to stay here right now. Like, I gotta go somewhere. I gotta go. So she went to like I think her mom's friend's house or something. I'm not sure if they were her friends. But anyways, this story is just a lot of getting together, fight happens, break up, a lot of that. So it was kind of just it wasn't the way it was advertised in the trailer. I thought it was going to be more of a love story, just like how they get together, how they meet, are they going to go to prom together, this or that. But it was dramatic, not in the best way, because I don't really like the whole getting together, breaking up. Because how am I supposed to believe that you're like supposed to be together forever? Because that's what they kept saying. Like, I'm gonna be into you forever. I'm never gonna be able to let you go. Like throughout like a year, like 2 years actually, because the show in 8 episodes went from beginning of junior year, or well, okay, beginning of the second semester of junior year, all throughout like the summer right before college. So that's quite a bit of time. That's like a year and a half, if I can do year math correctly. It was a while. So they like sped run through a lot of this shit, and most of it was them being pissed at each other. So how am I supposed to believe that they're gonna last forever, as the show title kind of gives us that like hint, you know? So that was, I wouldn't say it was disappointing, but it was just kind of like, oh, like I thought it was gonna be more lighthearted and fun, but it was just kind of a drama. But like if you have a show and the main drama is with a romantic couple, you can't really do too much other than to get them together, break them up, get them together, obstacle, break them up. Someone finds out something out, there's a secret. Like I wish we knew more about like the family or like the other friends. Like I wish it was more of an ensemble show so I was invested in something else. Am I making sense? Like do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? I forget what that's a reference to, but something. That's a reference to something. But yeah, I just and they're not the only victim of this. There's other stories. It's just that I thought this one was gonna be cuter and that we were gonna get a simple, cute, fun black story. But at least it wasn't one of those struggle love ones. I mean, I guess you could say it was, but it wasn't. But it was, but it wasn't. Whatever you want to call it, I just thought it was gonna be more wholesome than this. Happens. But I still did enjoy it, and I will be staying tuned for season two because it got renewed like 2 days after it was released. So I'm not gonna be mad at it. Next season, they're probably gonna be in college because Justin didn't really want to go to college. He wants to do his music now, so we'll probably see where that goes. Not the biggest fan of shows doing music in them, but hey, some of his beats were good. I'll give him that. I will give him that. The guy that was rapping, not so much. Not so much. I was not feeling that. But yeah, I'm interested in seeing where the story goes. Hopefully, we see more of like Keisha being on a college campus because she's going to Howard work, seeing her friends, maybe learning a bit more about her friends, and they can be more involved in the story. So it's not just like one relationship we're focused on. But you never know. I'm glad this show exists. I'm glad there was a lot of good black representation and jokes inside jokes in there. The way we speak, there was good use of AAVE if there was any. Like, thank God. Thank you for the fact that there was actual black people involved. Thank you, because sometimes even if it's a black story, you look up the writers and it's like, I hear my people, but I'm not fully seeing my people, you know? So I appreciate that. There was a lot of black folk involved. Absolutely. I really want to get into overcompensating because I remember watching the trailer a few weeks ago and I was like, I'm going to watch it. And then it came out and I was like, oh shit, it came out. But I was already watching other stuff with my mom and people are watching it and they're like, this is so good. This is a funny college show. And I'm in college. So like, I have to see it. I have to see it. I need to watch it. I was going to try to watch it before the end of May, but it just didn't work out like that. So first thing I watch in June is gonna be overcompensating because I heard it's very funny, and I want to see if I can relate to these characters and not just like high schoolers anymore. Now that I'm growing up, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. All right, that's it for me this time. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you have any recommendations, let me know because I love being put on things and I love putting people on things. So if I put you on something, don't be shy. Let me know. Usually I just watch the same old shit I always do over again because I'm scared to try new things. It's a disease, I know. I gotta work on that. I'm just so used to being comfortable. I don't want to get out of my little box and take a leap of faith. Sometimes I do, if it sounds promising, but sometimes I do surprise myself when I finally watch something that everyone told me to watch, and I'm like, wow, you were right. Sometimes, well, I'm always right, but like sometimes I was a little bit off, you know? I really have nothing else to say, so peace.